Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and thank you for joining another scene for Living World of Darkness, Rage Across the Amazon. Um, our scene finds us today in the sept, one of the septs, I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's the southern one in the Amazon, where the Sept of the Green has been mobilized to help in the defense and offense of the Amazon. And one Eric Skofgard, um, after much debate, well, not really much debate, but having the given the opinion from his pack, um, decided to ask to pull Tlate to the side. He has some business with her, whether good or bad, one doesn't know yet. But um, he asked for her to follow him to a tree. And he made a promise that he would not pin her against a tree this time, considering the last time. Well, the time before that, he got a little angry and got a little forceful with her, but decided to be a good guy today. So Erik is actually leaning up against a tree, smoking a cigarette, and in his one hand he has a bottle of water which is uncapped, and he seems to switch off, pull a drag of the cigarette, blow the smoke, and drink some water. Wait a few seconds, do the same thing again, and he would just basically wait there until Tlate um, makes her way over there. And he kind of just seems to watch the others kind of like do their thing in the meantime.
And a bit curious about this kid wants with her, or runs with her. The Wendigo theurge will walk up to the tree. Um, she is looking around to see what the rest is doing, whether she can actually see her sister, because that might make the situation a little more explosive, which is something that she does not want, because as Erik has promised not to pin her against the tree, she is kind of determined to leave his beard alone this time. Um, so she approaches, makes sure that she is in like that there are at least two steps in between her and Erik, and that Erik is actually between her and the tree. And as she is picking this spot carefully, she stops and rolls over.
Tlatahine, get up.
She will.
So how are you making out so far here in the Amazon?
It's hot, Erik Raya.
Hmm. And she would notice that he actually has like on long sleeve shirt and pants. Um, Not so much like heavy material, but material that's pretty breathable. Maybe like some kind of jersey knitted clothing, something that like to lets the skin breathe and doesn't feel so heavy. Um, and he's in some really thick, like wearing like some thick boots. And when she mentions hot, he definitely looks like he is probably hot himself, but is probably trying to put it like out of mind despite um what he's wearing. He seems to be, if anything, she could guess that he's probably, not too bad off considering what he's wearing, but um he definitely nods at that. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I hear you.
Platin, Platin actually looks more like you can see in this picture now, wearing nothing but her underwear, really.
um he doesn't seem to
Which
really.
is still like more than just a bra. I mean, it's still pretty covered, but eh,
Yeah, he doesn't seem to put any, make any attention to it. I mean, we're werewolves, and plus, to be honest with you, like seeing people naked doesn't really phase him in the least. It kind of is just like a passing thing. It's like, oh, you're naked, that's cool, and then he kind of just keeps it moving. Um, but yeah, he tilts his head. He looks kind of thoughtful, and And he kind of cracks a smile. So noticing, the gap between them and stuff like that, which is, good for her because considering, the tension between them and their tribe and stuff like that. So I'm sure you're probably wondering why I called you over here to speak to you in private. And and to be honest with you, I've heard and seen nothing but good things lately regarding you, Tlate. I have to say I've been pretty impressed with you taking on the Aruns of the Sept, of the Green at least. I've heard about those um, little scuffles. I find them kind of amusing. Seems that you put up much more of a fight than many, and I find that pretty admirable. So good job on that.
I'm a Wendigo, Eric Raya. We don't give up easily, as your tribe should know.
Hmm, indeed. Well, because of that, I asked my pack what they what they thought about the theurges of the Sept, no matter if they were in a pack or not, whether they're a cub or not, because I have some business I need to attend to regarding my Adren challenge, and I want somebody that could fill in for me and my pack and the capacity of a theurge, as you know, because Ping has passed away. And when I asked them who, based on capability, knowledge, and the like, everybody said Tlate Heen. And to be honest with you, I said the same thing. So, my Adren challenge. If you would oblige, if the damn parents say so, I would like to take you along with me. We would have to go to the legendary realm, and we would have to go to the battlegrounds. And to be honest with you, it could be pretty perilous because as part of my Adren challenge, I have to fight a legend or cleanse a legend of the nation who has fallen.
Um, First of all, on hearing this, I got 5 successes to keep a smooth face and not be surprised as fuck. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she is surprised, and you can see that because she blinks her eyes a couple of times, but could just be that hot air that just makes her blink more.
The sweat getting in her eyes, the salt just kind of
Something like
stinging her
that.
eyes a bit,
Yeah.
something like that, maybe. Yeah.
Um, and as he speaks of the legendary realm, I guess I'll have to make a knowledge check to see how much you would know about this. Um, and of course, because I had to restart my computer, I don't have my sheet up yet, because that would make sense.
No problem. Take your time. I'll wait.
Oh, patient get is patient.
Yes.
That would be intelligence umbra lore, I guess. Wait a
Yep.
minute, didn't I buy an extra lot of umbra lore lately? Give me a moment. Where is my XP log? Oh well, fuck it. I'll roll it with what it's on my sheet right now. It's not a whole lot.
It's more
Nice.
than what I got, probably.
But well, she got at least 1 success, so she's heard of this realm.
Yeah.
So she frowns and nods. I see. Um, Eric Raya, I am only a cub, and I think there might be more capable Theurges in the Sept. At least one of them is a foster now.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, but you may be Cub and there may be more capable Theurges, in your opinion, but it doesn't always come down to that. You've displayed the qualities that I would prefer in a Theurge, along with the opinion of my pack. They seem to take a liking to you, and to be honest with you, that means a great deal to me when choosing to work with somebody outside the pack. So here we are. This is why I'm asking you. Besides, it'll
Well,
be a good, trial by fire type of thing for you. You'll,
she nods at that because that's definitely a trial by fire.
of course, none of this really means anything outside you or me until I get the permission of the den parents, but I figured I would run this by you first before even wasting my time. Because if you won't do it, then I'll have to find somebody else. And to be honest with you, if you choose not to, it's really no problem. I just thought I would give you the honor first.
Hmm. Could I? It is something that is dangerous. I am very much aware of that, but it is a great challenge and a great chance to prove my worth. Can I ask for something in return?
What do you want?
And, and she's trying to keep a straight face, this time only with 2 successes. She has some difficulties getting this question out of her, actually. She looks down, um, one foot kind of shoveling the earth a little bit. Could you teach me of your tribe, Eric Raya?
You wish to know about the Geta Fenris?
Yes.
And with that, he lifts his hand and he takes another drag from the cigarette and he kind of holds it in his chest and he strokes his beard once or twice and then lets the smoke kind of billow out of his nostrils. And then he nods. I'll tell you what I know. I find that fair. It's only fair considering that, well, not only, it's not only fair because of that, but since we'll be going up against a fallen legend from my tribe, it might come in handy.
Fallen legend.
So, hmm.
Do you know who?
Uh, his name is Fist of Frost. Apparently, he is a Fenrir in the legendary realm, fallen to the worm somehow, and needs to be cleansed. That's part of the reason why we're going to the battlegrounds, because I've heard that you can witness battles, previous battles there, and I'm hoping to see exactly what happened learn about him, what his weaknesses are, what caused his downfall. And then once I have sufficient information, we will go to the legendary realm and we will cleanse him one way or another. But that's why I need you, because I would need you to lead us there to the legendary, well, to the battleground, and to the legendary realm, and to provide your knowledge and assistance as a crescent moon.
Okay. I might have to talk to some of the theurges here. I am not, well, I have been a theurge. I knew I would be a theurge, but my first change didn't happen a very long time ago. But I wouldn't mind trying. And
Well, good. You do me a great honor with that. I will be sure to give you much thanks, and I will impart much of what I've garnered and learned from my tribe onto you in turn.
I would appreciate that.
So now, the only thing I need to do is actually speak to Calls of Fury and Olaf Raya.
I I just left. I just left calls to Fury Raya. And haven't seen Olaf Raya for a while.
Yeah, no doubt. Many seem to be busy here. And to be honest with you, that's a good thing. I think too much idle time around here is pretty bad, especially when there's so much to do.
Yeah, this place is very different and fun than up north. And though I see things that are the same when I compare it to Sept of the Green, as well as my own Sept.
Well, I have to be honest and say this place is probably a bit of a culture shock for many, especially those that maybe never grew up in a sept that was more militaristic, where might is right. Maybe so much like your tribe or your sept and my home sept. To be honest with you, when I entered the sept of the green, it was much the same thing as I found here. Culture shock. Used to being ground into the dirt. When I got to the sept of the green, it was not like that.
I doubt Wendigo Sept would be the same as a Get Sept. Although I understand what you're saying when you're talking about being how, well, militaristic,
Mm.
I guess. Although I don't have much experience with the military.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's just they put more emphasis on being more um, forward with their strength and making sure that constantly. Um, Let me restart real quick. Okay.
Better.
Thank you. Um, yeah, they're just more forward with putting their strength out there and making sure that certain ideals and stuff like that that follow that tradition of strength and might and constantly putting the axe to the grinder, excuse me, is prevalent, so to speak.
Strength is might. Is that why your ancestors attacked us?
Well, funny thing about that, Tlate, I could say that your tribe attacked us in a sense. From what I from what I understand, when we came over to America, even though at that time that's not what it was, we had relations with the Croatan. We traded with them. We seemed to have good relations with them. We set up some settlements in the north, and we had to leave. We had to go back home, much more north, and we left behind kinfolk and a few Garu. And when we came back, they were all wiped out. And I was told that there was evidence that it was the Wendigo. So, to be honest with you,
That makes no
it's either.
sense. Raya.
I'm just telling you what my Galliard told me.
Even then, even if what you say is right, you came to our lands. We didn't come to yours.
That is true. But we
Getting
had
on this
no,
should never get along.
we, I mean, we had no ill will as far as I know. We tried. There seemed to be goodwill there between some of us and the pure tribes. I can't say I don't know what happened, but it happened. I acknowledge that. And a lot of your people, a lot of the pure tribes were put out because of it, killed and slaughtered by the millions.
Yes.
I'm not proud of that. And to be honest with you, I would want no part of that. That's not what I'm about.
Hmm.
But it's not nothing I can change. And telling you sorry would be a paltry prize. It wouldn't really mean anything because I had no hand in that. And it's been so long that it's kind of just there's no way to heal that wound. It's been open and festering for way too long.
Mm,
And you can probably say we could pack up and leave you guys alone, but I can tell you that won't happen either.
no, I know. Instead, you just. Mm, no.
So right now, I mean, really, we just kind of have to make do with what we have. We have something bigger than the both of us
I did not ask it to start a fight with you, Erik, because you are a soon-to-be Adren Arun, and I am a Theurge cub. Despite the fact that Wendigos are enduring, Garu, I know that there is no chance I would stand for more than 10 seconds against you before being ripped apart if you would truly want to. Maybe 11 seconds, but no more than that. I asked it not to anger you. I try to understand, in a way, I guess. It seems that there is a sept near the sept of the green that consists of Wendigo, and yet it sounds impossible, but it has been confusing me. So I'm trying to understand, and I'm trying to understand why Wendigo and Get would get along, why they would do such a thing.
Well, I'm not fighting you, Tlate. I'm not even saying that I'm right on the matter. It's history. It's things that happened hundreds of years ago. Perspectives and opinions get twisted and turned. People have their respect, stories get told and they lose they could lose their accuracy as they get passed down based on biasness. But I would say that if you really want to learn something, then you have to try to open your mind to what you believe might not be right or wrong. You just need to be willing to listen to it and take it as it is. Because
Um,
to me, right now, it sounds as if everything I'm telling you is going to be wrong.
it's just complicated, okay?
And
That's,
that's
I'm
fine. I'm just
sorry.
telling you if you want to hear what I have to say and what others have to say, then you need to just be open to it and not judge it. Filter what makes sense and what doesn't. And if you really want
To
to
me, it
understand,
doesn't make sense that a Get and a Wendigo would get along. Yet I know it happens. I know it happens.
well, then why don't you visit the Sept of the Sentinel and see how they do it? See if the Den parents will allow you to do that and see it firsthand with your own eyes.
Just trying to make sense of it.
Well, to me, if you want to make sense of it, that would be the best way to go about it.
I can't tell my sister.
Why couldn't you tell her?
Um, she looks away. No reason. I mean, she's Wendigo.
Hmm. He
That
kind of
was
just sets his
you.
eyes on her, kind of looking at her kind of sheepishly, but he drinks a drink of his water as he does so. Well, whether you tell her or not doesn't really matter. It's really more for you at this time, whether she wishes to see it for herself or not, or educate herself. That's on her. Your
That
sister
is,
is the cub to Pisa, right?
yes.
Right.
You met her?
On the moon bridge here.
Right. She is a hobbit and a galliard, so she can't set your beard on fire.
Ah, that's good to know. I will sleep safe tonight. Well, with peace of mind, anyways.
Just peace.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I didn't understand you either, so that was basically what I was
Oh,
asking.
yeah, he said, yeah, he'll sleep with peace of mind.
Yeah. Somehow I doubt that.
Hmm.
I've seen that the more Garu grow in age and rank and position, the less peace of mind they have.
Well, yeah, with more, as you grow higher in the ranks, more responsibility and things are expected upon you, of course, but I wasn't meaning in that sense. I was just saying that I won't have to worry about a Wendigo cub trying to burn my beard off in the middle of the night.
She could frostbite your toes.
Ah, that would suck. I need my toes.
Don't stick them out of your tent.
Well, if she wants to try, well, she's willing to do so, or, she can feel free to
That,
do so.
that was just a thing that then father in the Sept 4 Seasons used to say.
Hmm.
Not that we have tents, no. But he did always say that. It's, never mind. It's weird. And
Hmm. Well, speaking of the Sept of the Four Seasons and a previous conversation we had, I seem to recall that you saying that you were half Get, half Wendigo.
yes, that's true. I think that's why my sister wouldn't really like me informing about the Get too much.
What is she
She,
afraid that you might choose the Get over being a Wendigo?
no, but she is my elder sister who one day heard that my mother didn't live anymore and she had a little daughter. It's not really difficult to understand who she would blame for that besides me.
Your mother was Wendigo or Fenrir?
Yes, my mother was Wendigo.
You didn't know her?
She died when people have told me how I was born. They've told me many times. I hope they didn't tell it to her that much. The, the then father of Sept, of the Sept used to explain in great detail how I ripped open my mother's belly and well, birth of a metis isn't easy.
Not to piece. Tlate would see Eric's jaw kind of tense at that. And probably part of the corner of his mouth approximate like like how a wolf will maybe growl. Like he kind of pulls the corner back of his mouth, and you can see like a corner of his canine and some of his molars and stuff, just from the way she's explaining the story. He seems to, despite the way he looks, he seems to be pretty empathetic towards that. Um, Pretty sad, almost as if pained by the story himself. I'm sorry for the loss of your mother.
It's my fault, but my sister actually knew my mother. She had the chance to love her. All I know is that my mother was stupid enough to find one of your tribe, and I am the result of that.
Well, first of all, you need to know that because you were brought into this world is not your fault. How that happened is not your fault.
Maybe. But it still happens. If this guy hadn't shown up, it may not be my fault that I exist, but I still exist, and that in itself is a sin. Sin of more than just being a metis. It's, they've never found him. Olaf said that your tribe would kill him.
Typically, yeah. They are forced to take care of the Metis child outside of the protection of the Sept. And once the child is brought to the age is made adult in the nation, the parent is often killed.
Then I guess it's good for my father that I am only cub and not an adult yet.
Who was the Geta Fenris with that copulated with your mother?
I only know first name.
No.
It's a weird name. Oswald? Asphalt?
Oswald?
Yes. I think, yeah.
Oh gosh. Let me see here. What is that? Is it? I don't got no subterfuge. I guess it would be what, perception? Or was it, what is it
To hide something?
Yeah.
Either appearance or manipulation subterfuge.
Okay.
And if you have pure breed, you add that to it.
Okay, that's good to know. Oh no.
Okay. Well, let's see if I don't fail my perception and empathy check, because I'm curious.
Well, he failed. Do you want to roll? Yeah, I guess you don't even need the roll. He looks seriously surprised, and he even looks pretty concerned. Um,
She sees that, she'll take a defensive position and takes like an extra step back. You
and
know this guy?
he'll actually like stand up against the tree taller, like he's trying to stand away from her. Um, as if he's trying to be perfectly or parallel along the tree. Um, and he kind of looks around, kind of nervously. You said Oswald, right?
I think so, yes. Maybe my sister knows more or knows the name better. That's what they called him. Why, friend of yours? You know someone of that name?
My father's name is Oswald. My
Um,
fucking father's name is Oswald.
no. No, you're just, no. What?
Oswald, Justices, Judgments, Swift, Hammer, Skovgard. He's the only Athro I know of the nation with the name Oswald. That motherfucker.
Did he ever?
I never knew him except for when I had my first change. He was there. And then he brought me to the Sept of the Marauding Hills in Scandinavia. But he told me some stories where he came to America to work with Seps in the North within the last 2 to 3 years, namely the Sept of the Sentinel. But he also said that he went into Canada as well.
You're saying your your father. I think Tlate will
And
gain a rage from this.
yeah, Eric's gonna take a rage from that too because
Yeah,
he seems to be like hyperventilating almost. Not really hyperventilating, but his chest heaves like heavily.
yep. Same with Latina.
And
She's like almost on all fours, crouching down, crouching low, fixing her gaze on Erik.
he'll look down at her behind his glasses and he'll see her in the positions that she's in, but he doesn't seem to be in any way threatened by it in a sense. In fact, he'll even with the disbelief of all this and how much of a coincidence this is, like he'll even sink now and kind of just sit down. And then
as he sinks down, she'll take like 2 steps back.
yeah, and he's propped up against the tree, and that cigarette that's in his hand, he immediately takes it to his lips, and he pretty much like smokes the hell out of it.
Are you gonna kill me now?
Why would I kill you?
You said that before the mantis reaches maturity.
We kill the parent, not the child. The child is given a chance within the Fenrir to prove himself or herself. They are given a chance at life to fight for Gaia. It is not their fault. It is the parents' fault.
Your parent. That's what you're saying.
My parent and yours.
Does that make you?
That makes you my sister.
That, that makes you my brother. With that, she probably will kind of fall on the ground to sit down on the ground as well.
Yep. It's almost as if Erik had reached that realization a long time ago. And looking at her, he looks to his cigarette and he holds it out to her as if she ask, basically offering if she wants it.
She looks at it as if he's trying to poison her. You're saying that you are you are my brother.
You are my sister, Tlate. That's what it seems like.
No.
And when she says no, he kind of like turns his head to the side and kind of just does that lip smacking thing, like kind of chuffs. Yeah, yeah, he's pretty pissed off. My father's a fucking shark. A half moon that broke the first tenet of the litany. How fucking cowardly. How fucking.
Maybe there is someone else. Maybe this is not.
I've traveled much around the northern area of where my people come from. I've been to the other Seps. I've met other Garu, was introduced to them. I've worked under them, slaved under them, fought them, drank, and ate with them. I've only came across or known one other person. And that person was my father.
About 9 years ago, I was born in spring.
To be honest with you, I have no recount. I didn't even know him. He left me and my mother when I was a baby.
Well, that we have in common. He left my mother as well.
he kind of he lowers his head and he kind of puts his forehead in his hand and he just seems to like rub it and like just pondering all this, try to piece it together. Like he just can't believe like this is fucking happening.
Nothing is tugging on the membranes in between her fingers. She seems to be in very much the same mindset as he is.
After the Amazon, if I make it home, despite Scandinavia being taken over by the Wendigo and the Pure tribes, with the hellhole over there because of what happened with House Gleaming Eye, I will find out. I will confront my father if need be. He needs to he needs to give us the truth and pay for what he did.
Oh shit! I've Erik Raya.
What?
I've told Olaf. He knows the name. He guessed. He guessed what was going on, and he wanted to know a name so he could look. I didn't know.
It's not your fault. None of this is our fault. And if my father is still alive, I've not heard from him since I've come to the Septic Green. Then he needs to face Philodoxus.
If it is really.
If it's him, then he needs to face judgment. I just don't understand how he got away with it this long.
I, I don't know. I know my sept sent out searching parties, but they didn't. They didn't find him, or they didn't far enough, or decided to return. They never told me. It's just
Well, if there's one thing that we learned, he seems to be very good at avoiding responsibility, helping, leaving people, evading them. I've always condemned him for doing what he did to me and my mother. And only showing up, I'm assuming because a kinfetch told him that I was about to change. It's unbelievable. I'm sorry that you had to. I'm sorry that your family suffered because of my father.
It's not me that needs to get that apology. I wouldn't have been here.
What was your mother's name?
Her name was Miki. She was a valuable galliard, like my sister.
Check the side chat.
Okay. Let me try a little trick. How's this?
Much better.
Good.
All right. You said her
You
name
want me
was
to repeat?
Nikki. Nikki.
Miki.
Miki. Okay. And I didn't hear anything after that.
She was a Wendigo galliard, like my sister.
What rank was she?
I don't know. They didn't tell me much. If you want to know, I can ask the Pisa, but she gets upset. So I usually don't talk about it too much.
I won't. I won't let my curiousness spark any more tension right now. But
She'll
right now, there's just too much to cop. Just too much to think about right now.
I'll need to tell her at some point.
I'll leave that up to you.
She's been the only one that. Never mind. She deserves to know it.
For what I've seen, she seems to be pretty protective of you. So,
Um,
best you tell her
it,
before she finds out otherwise.
yeah. If she comes looking for you, she has more temper than I have. And I don't mean more rage, even though she's a galliard and I'm a theurge, because in that way she also has more temper. But it's always been wilder, so please, if she comes for answers, don't hurt her.
I will afford her as much respect as she affords me. I will not harm her as long as she doesn't put my life in jeopardy. It'll be much like what happened here.
She. I think she was about 12 years old when she lost her mom.
How old is she now?
20.
And he just shakes his head.
How old are you?
19.
Okay.
We'll get to the bottom of this. He'll he'll get punished one way or another. He needs to face judgment. That's the bottom line of it.
That's not my call to make.
You're right. It's not.
Wondered what it would be like to see him. But I wouldn't know. I don't know.
He has done much for the nation, but not much for anybody else but caused problems. He has particular vices that are unbecoming. He seemed to have lost his way for a while. At least that's the way it seemed like to me at the time. I was dealing with my first change and handling what it is to be within the nation. I did not grow up in it, obviously. The blood just got through somehow. I will speak to Olaf and see what can be done.
I will speak with Pisa. I should go. I think
And he
I
kind of
need
just,
some.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
Yeah, he was gonna nod and it's like, yeah, you should go because we both have much to think on.
Yeah. She looks like she's about to say something, but closes her mouth again and walks backwards a couple of steps. And then, at the respectable distance, will turn around and almost run off.
Erik will watch her leave, and um, when she leaves, he will um, lift his head back and tilt his neck up towards the sky above, place his cigarette in his mouth, and close his eyes, and just let the rays of the sun beat down on his face. And that's how we'll end our scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another scene for Living World of Darkness, Rage Across the Amazon.